Hello and welcome to the vBrownBag Tech Talks at VMworld. My name is Jonathan Frappier. Thank you everyone for watching live on the stream. Here today to talk a little bit about DevOps and why you should care about it, why you need to start thinking about it, and how you can start to apply some of the theories to your V life as an admin or an engineer. One of the things that I found important over the years is to separate out the idea that VMs are actually important. Your VMs are not important. What's important is your data. We've heard this referred to as pets and cattle, nachos, if you read Chris Wall's blog. There's a lot of different ways to think about it, but having a VM running and protecting that VM is not important. Your VM's not going to run your business. Your data's going to run your business. Data's going to be what makes you money. So separate out your data from your VM and protect that data, and then your VMs start to become disposable. Data is really what's important. I just finished telling you that VMs are not important, but here I'm going to talk a little bit about what you need to do to keep your VM working properly. It's kind of this theory of idempotent, and a friend of mine kind of taught me this theory, and that's we want our VMs to be in a consistent state all the time, right? Kind of tenet number 2 of DevOps. So if you have your VM, kind of your gold standard on the left with the green check mark there, that's where you want your VM to be. That's where you want your application to be, your operating system to be, and all of that configuration. If that changes, right? So then we get in the middle and something's changed. So now our application's different or our operating system's different. That's not where we want it to be. Right, so there's tools that are available to make sure that your VMs stay in a consistent place. So you can just apply that workflow, whatever it happens to be, whatever tool you're using, to get the VM back to the point where you know that it's good, you know that your application works, and you know your operating system work. And the reason this is important as you separate your data is you want your application, your operating system to be able to process that data that you're now focused on, right? The data is the most important thing. We want our VM and our application to be able to use that data in a convenient way. And if the VM or the application gets out of sync, we are not going, or you may not have access to the data the way you want. So you want to get your VM into a consistent state all the time. If somebody makes a change and they haven't gone through the proper channels, the VM gets put back in that state. So I don't care what change it was. I don't care where the VM ended up. I know where I want it to be, and that's the ultimate goal for that VM. I always want it to be the same. Some tools out there. Some of these folks are actually at the conference today. So Docker's here, Chef's here, Puppet's here. Go visit them. Those are Docker, obviously, for containers is huge. It's been a big theme of my blog, and actually here at VMworld, kind of technology is better together. So you want to, you start to leverage Docker, start to leverage containers. If it's not Docker, maybe it's Cloud Foundry and Warden or something like that. Ansible, Chef, Puppet, those are those configuration tools that will help you maintain the state of your virtual machines, and that to keep the application and the operating system in the configuration that you want. Versus having any sort of drift. So if something changes, some admin, engineer, QA person goes in and makes a change that hasn't gone through the channels, those tools will help you keep the configuration in the state. Doesn't matter where it is, it's going to get it to the state that you want it to be in. So why DevOps? If you heard the keynote on Monday, this is where things are going, right? We've lived our lives as V people. We've been infrastructure admins, storage admins, network admins, operating systems admins, and it wasn't always this way, right? It used to be a physical world, not everyone was virtualized, but this is kind of the direction where things are going. Things are going to become more automated based on integrations with Puppet, Chef, VCO, Power CLI, whatever it happens to be. So we're going to a DevOps world. It's going to happen. Just like virtualization happened, DevOps is going to happen. VMware has products coming out, the vCloud Air continuous integration services that are coming, that's happening. It's going to be a thing. VMware OpenStack, I mean, it's a thing. Integration with Puppet, it's a thing. Like, we need to learn those tools. We've done a great job at managing the infrastructure and learning about virtualization, but now we need to take that next step in our careers and start to understand these development tools that will help us automate and maintain that infrastructure and keep it in a spot where we want it to be so that our data is accessible, because that is what we ultimately care about. And last piece is it kind of helps you as an admin or an engineer, right? If my machines are not in a consistent state, if I'm not maintaining my applications, if I'm not supporting my data, I'm going to have a lot of sleepless nights. I came from a company, I was at a company recently, the deployment process was very manual. And because we had SLAs with our customers, it meant we were up at 3 in the morning doing patches and upgrades and deployments and things like that. With a lot of these tools, you can do this. Obviously, if the application supports it, you've got to build it properly. You can start to do this on the fly in the background. I mean, Facebook is not taking their entire site down at 3 o'clock in the morning to do maintenance. It's available all day, every day. They bring things in and out. They use tools like Jenkins to do continuous integration and deployments and patches and upgrades. They don't have to take things down. This is probably one of the reasons why VMware is getting into this space, is to support those companies that want to be able to do that, but maybe you don't have the infrastructure scale or support of Apple, a Facebook, a Twitter, or something along those lines. So it's going to help you get some sleep at night, right? And that's ultimately what we care about. We don't want to work all day, every day. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Hope you found it informative. At JFrappier on Twitter, or come by the Hang Space and check out some more tech talks later on.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, how are you? My name is Edward. We'll be right there.